Today I'm going to show you how to compare scores to a key using Google Sheets in the sum product function. So here we have test scores from 11 students, and on the left we have our answer key. Now the traditional way to compare scores to an answer key is to go through each one and say student 1's first response was D, the correct answer was D, and so this answer is correct. The second response is C, the correct answer is A, so this one is incorrect, and so forth. And you add it up, and for student 1 it ends up being 10, for student 2 it ends up being 11, and so forth. But there's a faster way to do this, and that's using the sum product function. Now to understand how the sum product function works, let's just compare one student to the key. It's easy in Google Sheets to compare two values. So let's compare this D here with that D there. So click on this cell, type in equals, we'll select the key, type in equals again, and select the student's response. What that does is that is a logical comparison. It compares the first value, A21, with the second value, B21, and if they are the same, returns the word true. If they are false, it returns the word false. So we can click and drag this down, and now we have an array of true or false statements, reflecting whether or not these values are the same. Now, trues and falses can be treated as ones and zeros. Let me show you an example. We're going to type in equals here. I'm going to select this true statement here. I'm going to multiply that by 1. Hit enter, and it treats true as a 1. It treats false as a 0. So now you have an array of ones and zeros. And now it's easy to take the sum of this. Just type in equals. You can go up to our function bar up here, type in sum, and select this array here. And close parentheses, and hit enter. Now we see the student score is 10, which is correct. Now let's try to take the sum of just the trues and falses. Select this array, close parentheses, hit enter, and it doesn't work. That's because the sum function does not treat the trues and falses as ones and zeros. Let's try the sum product function instead. Hit enter, and it works. Now to understand why the sum product function works, let's look at what it typically does. So let's go over here. Here we have two arrays. I'm going to go beneath this one. I'm going to type in equals sum product. Then I'm going to select the first array. I'm going to hit comma, and then select the second array. And what that does is that multiplies each value in the first array with the corresponding value in the second array. And then it takes that product, and it takes all the other products, and it adds them all together and calculates the sum of that, which, in this case, so enter, ends up being 99. But what are we doing over here? Over here, we've only selected one array. What happens when you only select one array is that instead of multiplying it by a different array, it simply multiplies it by 1. And remember what happens when we multiply true and false by 1? We end up with an array of ones and zeros. So it creates an array of ones and zeros, and then takes the sum of that, which in this case happens to be 10. Now, we don't want to go around making an array of trues and falses for every single student. Wouldn't it be convenient if we could just use a sum product function right here? So equals sum product. Now we still need to compare the student's response to the key. So let's select the key, select this entire array this time, and we can do what we did before and type in equals. And we select this entire array here. And what that does is that compares the key to the student's responses and returns an array of true and false statements, reflecting whether the responses are the same. And then the sum product function multiplies the array of trues and falses by 1, returning an array of ones and zeros, and then it takes the sum of that, which is the student's score. Right there, 10. So let's copy this. I'm going to paste it up here, and there you go. And click on this, we can see the formula now works. It compares the student score to the key. Now if we click and drag this, we see that this is now incorrect. This is because we were using relative reference, and we need to use absolute reference. So when you go back to here, and in front of the A, we're going to type a $sign in front of the 2, in front of this A here, and in front of this 16 here. Because anytime we move this formula, we want it to still refer to the same key, no matter what. So that's absolute reference. So let's click and drag this cell across, and now we have all of the student scores. I hope this has helped you to gain a better understanding of the sum product function. Thank you for watching this tutorial.